Building a compost bin. How-to sheet number 380. Go green by building this larger compost bin to take care of all of your recycling needs. Before you begin, be sure to have all the tools you need for your project. Refer to How-to sheet number 380 for a complete list. You will also need 20 corner blocks, 36 AB York blocks, 12 AB Dublin blocks, 17 wall caps, 5 50-pound bags of crushed rock, and 2 tubes of masonry adhesive. To get started, determine the location of your compost bin and lay out the first course of blocks to determine where to dig the trench. Once the back wall layout is in place, begin on the side walls. After placing a few blocks, use a square to make sure the blocks are lining up straight. Then continue placing the blocks. Once you have your layout, make sure the width is correct by using a measuring tape to check the dimensions at the back and the front of the bin. Use a shovel to cut around the blocks, marking where the grass and soil will be removed to construct the base. Remove the blocks and set them aside. Then remove the grass and soil in the area marked out, approximately 7 inches wide and 3 inches deep. Then check the trench to make sure it is level, making any adjustments if necessary. Next, install the foundation pad. When installing on soil, the base course must be laid on a bed of compacted crushed rock. Place the crushed rock in the trench until it is even with the top of the trench. Once the rock is in place, use your shovel to smooth out the trench. Then level the entire area using a hand compactor. Now that the area is compacted, check again to make sure the trench is level and make any adjustments that may be necessary. Begin the first course starting at the back wall. Place an AB corner block on the foundation pad and check for level from side to side and front to back, making any adjustments needed with a dead blow hammer. Place the next block in the pattern along the back wall. Check for level from side to side and front to back. Make sure the block is also level with the one next to it. Use a dead blow hammer to make any adjustments. Repeat these steps as you continue placing the base course of the back wall. Now that the blocks are in place, make sure the entire length of the back wall is level. Then continue laying the base course. Starting at the back wall, place a split block from the pattern layout. For more information on cutting and splitting blocks, see How-to sheet number 210. Continue placing blocks following the pattern layout, leveling each block from side to side and front to back, making adjustments as necessary. Repeat these steps until the base course is complete. Before moving on to the second course, check the entire area for level. Then make sure the blocks are still at the correct width by checking the dimensions at the front and the back of the bin. Start the second course with an AB corner block. Then, following the second course layout, use half an AB York block and follow it with an AB Dublin block. Continue placing blocks along the back wall, finishing with the other half of the AB York block and another AB corner block. Continue stacking blocks following the layout pattern down one side of the bin and finishing with a corner block. Repeat these same steps on the other side of the bin, finishing with a corner block. Stack the third course of blocks following the designated pattern. You may need to flip a block upside down to line up the blocks properly. Then finish each end with a corner block. Continue stacking blocks following the pattern layout to the desired height. Each course will step back to give a nice staggered look to the front of the bin. Now that the walls of the bin are in place, we can finish the top with wall caps. Place the first wall cap on the back wall so that it lines up with the corner. Place the cap on the corner so that its edges line up with the first cap. Continue placing wall caps along the side wall of the bin, alternating the direction of each cap as you go. Once the caps are in place, adjust as necessary to ensure a tight fit. Then repeat these steps to add caps to the other side of the bin. Now we're ready to place caps along the back wall. Some cutting may be required. For more information on cutting caps, see How-to sheet number 210. To ensure a tight fit, remove the cap from the end of the back wall and slide the remaining caps to center them. This should give you an even gap on each end of the wall. Then, using a measuring tape, measure the gaps on each side of the wall. This will give you the dimension you need to cut the caps to size. Using these measurements, mark the caps and use a square to create a straight line for cutting the cap. Once the caps are cut to the desired dimension, set them in place to complete the back wall. Now that the caps are complete, secure them in place with masonry adhesive. Then replace the caps to secure them in place. You'll want to allow the glue to dry completely before attaching the compost cover. The next step is to attach the compost cover. Simply mark the location of the holes, drill, and then attach. Refer to How-To Sheet number 380 for more detailed instructions on assembling the compost cover. Once the brackets are attached, simply slide the top into place, and there you have it, an attractive and functional compost bin in just a weekend. For a complete library of AB Courtyard how-to sheets, visit us at allanblock.com.